So the NBA All-Star break just ended.
Thank God.
It was terrible.
It was god-awful. Video we made aged like a fine wine.
But the good news is we're less than 2 months away from the NBA playoffs, and I gotta say I'm hyped, especially for the Western Conference. You got the Clippers and Suns, the super teams, they're finally clicking. The Thunder and Timberwolves trying to establish themselves. A couple other dark horses out there, the Warriors playing better, the Lakers. But can any team really dethrone the Nuggets at this point?
It's a tough ask. I mean, the defending champions, Jokic, I think, is still the best player in the world. And you know Jamal Murray is the playoff merchant.
Always.
He's gonna ball out, drop 50 on someone's head in the playoffs.
Before we start talking about if any team can stop the Denver Nuggets, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on any new videos. So we're recording this right before the games coming back on Thursday, and the race at the top of the West is heating up. You got the Timberwolves in first, the Thunder trailed them by 1.5 games, the Clippers 2 games back, and then the Nuggets in the 4th seed 3 games back. So there's a decent chance Denver does not get the top seed, and actually they were one of the colder teams going to the All-Star break. They went 5-5 in their last 10, including a 3-game losing streak actually going into the All-Star break. A bit surprising from them.
Yeah, but I mean, 2 games against the Kings and then a road game against the Bucks, like not super surprising. And then in terms of getting the 1st seed, I mean, a little bit of championship hangover, and they're still in the mix. Like 3 games isn't a huge deficit to make up, but they are running out of time a little bit.
Yeah, they also had some injuries. KCP missed some games. Murray missed the second half against the Bucks, and then the last game against the Kings with tibia inflammation. Didn't know that could happen.
I mean, as someone who's broken their tibia before, you know, it can flare up from time to time.
That's gotta hurt. So they should be healthy coming back, and their schedule really opens up post All-Star break.
Yeah, they got the 8th easiest remaining schedule. They got the Wizards on Thursday, who they better beat, and then they play the Spurs 3 times, and they play the Blazers twice. So I mean, you know, they're picking up 2 wins against the Blazers.
Yeah, we're going to that game on Friday, but it's gonna be a loss.
Absolutely,
we know that.
100%.
Surprisingly, they haven't really been the best team on the road. They're only 15-14, but come playoff time, I always just trust the veteran teams to win on the road. Like, remember LeBron's Cavs teams struggle all regular season, and then playoffs come, they just flip the switch.
Yeah, I don't really put too much mind into it. Also, like I said earlier, bit of a championship hangover, so just cruising through the regular season. Make sure you actually just get to the playoffs and then turn on when you get there.
So let's break down the team a bit this year. At first glance, you'd see they're 11th in defensive rating, 13th in offensive rating. They were 5th in offensive rating last year, so you think their offense would be a bit worse. They actually have a higher offensive rating this year.
Because the scoring is out of control.
Just beyond crazy.
In the NBA this year. I mean, we saw the All-Star game.
Yeah, we did, unfortunately.
It's a problem. Yeah, last year defense was their one big question mark going into the playoffs. They were 15th last year in defensive rating, and people were just kind of wondering, like, could you win a title with an average defense? And fair play to them, they turned their defense up several notches in the playoffs.
Yeah, shot all the way up to 4th. They were stopping people.
The one actual concern for the Nuggets, I think, though, is their bench. They're 25th in the NBA in bench scoring. They're getting just under 30 a game. I'm just not sure if I can really trust the bench unit. I mean, Reggie Jackson is playing a lot better than we expected him to. He's putting up 11 points per game on decent shooting. But their second leading scorer is Christian Brown, who, yes, played well in the NBA Finals last year, but he's only averaging 7 points a game. And yes, the rotation does shrink down a lot in the playoffs. But I mean, last year, Bruce Brown was huge for them. Jeff Green also gave them good minutes. Like, in the NBA Finals, like, it's all about the stars, but you do need at least 1 or 2 good guys off the bench.
Yeah, and in the playoffs, in the finals, there's always got to be some dude off the bench who steps up, and like, I don't know who that guy's going to be. Maybe Reggie Jackson just puts on a masterclass, or Christian Brown plays well again, but they got those, and then basically DeAndre Jordan, that's probably their 8-man lineup. I don't trust the bench a ton. The starting lineup, absolutely stacked, but the bench, I got a bit of question marks there.
I tell you, a Reggie Jackson NBA Finals masterclass.
I'd love to see
would be something to see. Oh, that would be fun. NBA Twitter would have a field day with that one.
So now let's talk about the potential teams that could dethrone them out west. We're only talking about the Western Conference here. And why don't we start with the Los Angeles Clippers? They're maybe the hottest team in the league. We're both Clippers haters. I'm sure everyone knows that. And I think rightfully so, because we've heard year after year, oh, this is the Clippers year. Kawhi and PG are going to get it done. And every year they get injured.
And also on a personal level, we just have a friend who won't shut up about how Kawhi is one of the greatest players of all time. Literally said he was the third best player ever.
Yeah, just won't shut up. With that being said, do you think the Clippers can finally do it this year? Is James Harden that missing piece?
No.
Of course.
Obviously. Look, they're dangerous. They're probably the hottest team in the league right now, and they've been healthy so far this year. I'm just never going to buy Clippers stock until they actually do it.
Plus, the front court depth, I mean, they have some big bodies and some guys who are veterans, but I'm not trusting Zubac, Mason Plumlee, and Daniel Tice to handle Jokic. It's just not going to happen.
They've played him well this year so far, which is kind of surprising, but yeah, I don't expect it to last. Now we got the Wolves, and I personally think this is a pretty dangerous matchup for the Nuggets. Now, they did play in the playoffs last year, and the Wolves went down in 5, but I think of all the teams, forget just the Western Conference, I think all the teams in the NBA,
okay,
I think they have the best front court rotation. You got Gobert, great defender, one of the league's best. You got Cat, not the best defender in the world, but he's a big body, and then you got Naz Reid off the bench. Like, I think AD would be the toughest individual defender for Jokic to match up against, but he's not facing a lineup better than those three.
Yeah, and didn't the Nuggets actually say the team that played them the toughest was the Timberwolves last year? And that was a completely different Timberwolves team. Like, this year, they've gelled with Gobert. They're the first overall seed in the West, so they might have home court for this series. So yes, I think very, very dangerous, but I think the Nuggets still prevail in 6 or 7 just because experience, and I just don't think even with that front court you can stop Jokic.
See, I don't know if you can stop Jokic, but I think the Wolves actually really could beat them in 6 or 7. I think they could. I don't know if I would pick them, but I think of all the teams in the West, I think the Wolves have the best shot to do it.
Now another young up-and-coming team. How about the Thunder? I mean, they've been great on both ends. You love Shea.
I do love Shea.
They just picked up Gordo, so they have some playoff experience. Could they be the team?
God, no. Too early. It's a year early. Yeah. Next year.
I mean, they've been great, like surpassed expectations. They could still get the first seed, but playoff experience, you just need that, and they really don't have that.
What you mean they got Gordo? You just said it.
I guess, but everyone else, I mean, Shea's played in a couple playoff series, but he hasn't been like the guy, all the pressure on him. And the other massive problem, who's going to guard Jokic?
Chet.
I love Chet.
Chet's going to try.
He's skinny as hell. He'll foul out in the first half.
And we got to throw him in just because. The Phoenix Suns. Now, they're clicking right now with their big three of Beal, Booker, and Durant. They're playing really well. They did push the Nuggets the farthest last year, pushed them to 6. But I mean, as Blazer fans, we've seen this song and dance before. Love Yusuf Nurkic to death. But the man couldn't stop Jokic if his life depended on it.
No, ever since that one game he had like early on, Jokic has just owned him. And in playoff series 2021, look up the numbers. He dominated him. And then off the bench, Drew Eubanks ain't doing shit to slow down Jokic.
Then beyond those 4 teams, I mean, who else? Like Lakers, Warriors. I mean, the Lakers did really well last year.
Yeah, they got swept last year. I mean, I wouldn't want to play the Lakers in the first round, but if I'm the Nuggets, I'm not worried. Warriors, they're playing much hotter, but who's going to guard Jokic again? Draymond? He'll get suspended more than he's able to stop Jokic.
Oh, I tell you, I would love to see Draymond try to slow down Jokic.
I mean, they played him in that one playoff series in 2022, but now Murray's here, so a bit different.
Yeah, that was also before Clay and Draymond had started to fall apart.
Yeah, completely true. You got the Pelicans. I don't know. I just like the Nuggets out west, but who knows? This playoff race is going to be crazy. So what do you guys think? What team do you like out west? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving a like. And hey, while you're here, check out some of our other content as well. And don't forget to subscribe to Synthetic Sports.